I got to scheduling it late because I was doing the 24-hour rally, so I didn't like put up the events or anything like yesterday or like at
Well,
all. I just
wait,
put
what 24-hour rally?
I did a 24-hour rally for the arts. Um, it went pretty good. I'll show you the card. Hold on a sec. So yeah, we did a 24-hour digital rally for the arts. How do I share my screen? I've never had to share my screen because I do it other ways.
Oh, it like do you know how it's like you click the share screen button, then you have to pick your screen and then click share. Because I always
Oh,
mess
there
it
it
up
is.
and
I
I
see
like,
it.
yeah, I always mess up. I'm like, oh, here's my screen. I'm like, why is it sharing? Then I have to like actually go. It's weird. I don't know.
Here you go.
Uh, did you pick that domain name?
And no, there was already a group that had created created that the Nota Zero art, and they jumped in to provide like web stuff for us.
So were you up all night doing that?
Yeah. So yeah, I we started a couple of weeks ago,
Hmm.
and not really a couple, like a week ago, really, and like really put it together really fast, because the public testimony on arts and humanities and the budget was yesterday.
Hmm.
So we wanted to get like talking points out there for folks before um, that uh, that public testimony happened, and there's still going to be more. There's still more stuff going on throughout the next few weeks because the budget doesn't have to be passed until the end of the month. Um, my cats are about to realize that they're a couple of inches apart, and then they're going to get mad at each other. Oh, there they go. Anyway, so the it doesn't have like you don't have to. Um, they don't have to pass the budget until the end of the month, but they have to pass the budget by the end of the month. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on as far as hearings and stuff until then.
That's Philly City Council.
Yeah. So yeah, Philly City Council. Sorry, I'm disjointed this morning. I'm trying to juggle things, and it's going to be relative. I'm going to try and put this remote. I'm still trying to figure out something, which is I might put this coffee break chat, like assign it to my cell phone, but then I'm trying to figure out how I can stop the stream. I might just have to stop the stream at a half past when I have to walk out, but I'll keep the chat on my cell phone. Anyway, sorry, long story. Um, so yeah, so Philly City Council. I don't. How much have you been following the budget stuff?
Not really that much. I know it's horrible, but like for my own like personal well-being, I try not to follow the news that much. I figure that I know people like you that follow it and I can get like the stuff that I need without the bullshit, and then I know that's lazy, but
Well, so highlights of it are basically like the mayor proposed a budget back in March, and then at the right after, right after, I think on the 30th or 31st, he proposed a completely new budget because of COVID-19 and the effects to the income of the city. So the city's predicting 650, I think a $650 million shortfall in income.
Yeah.
And so his budget proposal, when he announced his budget proposal, it was right before any of the, protests or anything like that. And he said, okay, well, in his budget proposal, in his announcement, he said, I'm making tough decisions. We're going to have to cut a little bit from everywhere, et cetera, et cetera. And then when you read the actual budget proposal, it proposes cuts to every department, but the proposed cuts to every department include a $14 million direct increase to the PPD, and then a total increase in funding to the PPD of like $23 million if you look at it as an overall picture. And it's just crazy. It's like, are you not paying attention? So he's been getting a lot of pushback on that, and one of the cuts he proposed was a full cut of the $4 million Office of Arts, Culture, and the Creative Economy, the OACCE. And so he literally zeroed out and destroyed that office, and that's a $4 million budget. And then he also made cuts to I forget what the PHA, not PHA.
Housing Authority, or
No, not PHA. The Philadelphia Cultural Fund, the PCF. So he also cut the PCF by a large margin, and so a lot of artists got together, and we've been, demanding funding for the arts and humanities, because not only did he cut those programs, and which would completely destroy arts in the city, he also cut things like anti-violence programs. He cut all the money, the entire budget of the homeless services. He cut like
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, he cut Parks and Rec. He made huge cuts to like the humanities side of the city, and did nothing to try and offset those cuts by actually taking money from everywhere.
Yeah, so my buddy, his I guess it's stepmom now. She used to work. She just got laid off, and I think she used to actually basically her job was to figure out ways to help people become employed in a technological age, and that seems more relevant than ever right now. Yeah, not so much. So that's kind of a shame.
Very much a shame. I'm trying to pull up this. I can pull that up through my switcher. Pulling up. Whoa, Abigail. Cat's being a pain. She wants to take over the whole desk.
That's kind of what cats do.
Sometimes. Sometimes this one's good. Right at the moment, though, she's being a little bit of a pain in the butt. She usually just hangs out right behind my computer instead of in front of it. So here, I'll pull this up. So yeah, artist friend made this whole presentation. Well, he's also a PhD, and with a high level of knowledge of budgeting and finance, and made it with MA in theater, and yeah. So he just made this for. The stream that we were on that we did over the last 2 days. I'm gonna share this out to folks watching too.
So this is funky. How are you making your current because this is going up where your face used to be?
Yes. So I have a video switcher. Here, I'll show you that real quick. I have a video switcher on my desk. With
it's like KBM?
With my other laptop hooked in.
As like a video input?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty nifty.
So, let me see. He goes over some of the impacts through revenue projections and fiscal year projected revenue expenditures, etc., and then talks about some of the cost saving initiatives that the mayor's proposed budget has in it. And I'm just kind of like speeding through this because but this is the real to me this is the one that really speaks to what the budget priorities that the mayor had were, because this is the proposed budget and the revised proposed budget. Hold on a sec.
What did I do?
Sorry, I'm passing out food today, so I'm meeting with somebody and they're here already. So
if I didn't have a job, I'd totally do that.
Yeah. So I don't have a job, so I'm doing stuff like this. So this really talks to the priorities, and I can email you this if you're interested because it gets pretty geeky.
You can just message me or whatever, or I can message you my email address.
Yeah, you can just put it in the chat on Zoom. But yeah, so public safety and administration received a 1% and 4% cut respectively overall, and public safety's cut isn't even an actual cut. Some departments got more money. The way they cut public safety by 1% was basically by just moving money around in the public safety budget. And the public safety budget is huge anyway. So, and this is year over year for the proposed 5 years. how they want to move around, how they want to cut and revamp the budget over the next 5 years. So over the next 5 years, they keep cutting arts and culture. They cut it 22% this year. They cut it 22% in the proposed fiscal year 22 budget, and they cut it 3%, 3%, and 3% in the next 3 years, while they increase the public safety budget in the following 3 years. So this 5-year plan basically says we're never getting back arts, culture, and recreation. And then, then he like did a deep dive on the budget and was like, hey, where are some areas where we're spending a lot of money? And these are just some of the like quick areas of concern that he highlighted. Like, why are we spending so much money on personal services for the police? Why are we spending so much?
What does that even mean?
Huh?
What does that even mean?
I'm not exactly certain, and he also wasn't able to like tease out what actually these things all exactly go to. Like, you have to be on the inside of those departments to understand what those expenditures are. Yeah, so like, yeah, this is, it's crazy. And then they went into how the arts impacts the Philadelphia economy, which I already know. A lot of people that I work with already know. But basically, the arts in Philadelphia the highlight is the arts in Philadelphia generates 1,000 times the cost from Philadelphia in economic activity, and of ROI of over 5,000% in tax revenue for the city. That's like insanity numbers. Like, cities don't usually get that much ROI on anything they spend money on.
Well, like the Mural Arts program, they usually have like more public art than like any other city in the country or something like that, right? Like,
yeah.
And it's stupid cheap. I mean,
yeah. Stupid cheap, drives tons of revenue, and they want to cut it in when we're going to be losing money anyway. Yeah, so that was the one presentation that was made. A lot of folks just jumped on just to like give their support or say, make testimony to city council, because the public testimony period for arts and culture was last night. They only had 2 hours, and they were supposed to hear 100 testimonials, and they got to something like 35 or 65 of them.
Mm-hmm. That sucks.
But yeah. Ooh. We actually have people watching our YouTube video chat.
Like the one time it's just me and you, so I guess.
So yeah, anybody watching this is usually like a nice collection of coffee-colored people talking about stuff.
Yeah. And some white people sometimes.
And white people, black people, lots of coffee-colored people. I like us coffee-colored people, man.
Yeah. It's coffee color with a lot of cream,
For what it's worth, ain't none of us white passing.
No.
Morning, Gil. Let's see. So